Content Catchup. Hello, Content Catchup family. This season I told Jules and Barks that I wanted to be more involved. So from now on, I'll have the honor of introducing guests. Which leads me to guest number 1 of season 2, Darren Barker. Recognize the name? Darren's a special guy. Not only is he Michael's brother, but he doubles down as one of the most all-round content producers in the industry.
It's all right, Pete. I can take it from here.
What on earth? How did you get into my recording booth?
Well, I just told Jules and Michael that I'd like to meet the great man. Out of the three of you, definitely up there with you are my favourite, actually.
Stop it. I'm blushing.
I would say it's good to see you, but I'm currently staring at a blank screen.
Anyway. Sorry.
No, you go. You go.
Sorry, our chemistry is off. As I was saying, you're an all-round content wizard for the NBL, the National Basketball League. Studying in graphic design and editing videos as a side hustle, you landed with the NBL a couple of years ago. A fun-loving personality and skills to match. Welcome to the show, Darren.
That was actually really well said. You do some great things over here. Not sure what your official job title is at the Content Catchup, but love your work.
Thank you, sir. Over to you, Julian and Michael. I've always wanted to say that.
Thank you, Sir Peter, and it's great to have you doing the intros finally. Darren! Woo!
Oh my god.
My goodness. Content Catchup.
Who would have thought?
I should just leave and let you two do this. Honestly.
What an exciting day it is. Not only is it the first time somebody has actually chatted to Pete, but it's the day of Darren Barker, special guest. Welcome to the show, Darren.
Thank you, my
Thunderous
brother.
applause.
Thank you
Thunderous
for the
applause.
claps.
We've searched long and far for this guest.
Yes, very close. It was very awkward meeting Pete, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. So it was good.
How is he 101?
He speaks very, very well, but very slowly. So I just had to get used to that. But we got through it. It was pretty good.
Do you get the vision that he's like a fan of a particular sport? Because I always imagine him being a fan of like rodeo or something like that.
Lacrosse.
Lacrosse? Yeah, he'd be a lacrosse guy. Yeah, that's such
just
a good call.
Something unique like that.
I don't know if there's much about lacrosse. You know what they say about lacrosse? It's for people who really can't play baseball or NFL, so they just go into a sport that they kind of like made up.
You know what we should do? We should get someone from lacrosse.
Is there an Australian lacrosse league?
No, we can go.
We should get someone from Frisbee.
We can go international. There is a league for Frisbee, isn't there?
There is. There's the massive league.
Anyway, stuff Frisbee. We're talking about basketball today. So
good small talk here.
Yeah, it's the start of every show. So it is good to actually have you on, Darren, because we don't talk about your job. We do, but we don't really talk about it in the nuts and bolts of it. So I'm ecstatic. Look here. Look at us.
I was going to say, it's not like we don't talk every single day about pretty much it, but,
it would make good
conversation.
It would make good conversation if we didn't talk for a week. Catch up.
That's true. Just a literal catch up.
That would be good, but I've got it on good sources that you two don't go more than 4 or 5 minutes without talking to each other. So,
no, if it goes a few hours, I start to worry a bit. We should actually, because Jules can't seem to keep our mum's name out of his mouth, we should get her on this and just have like a family catch up.
No,
I was legitimately going to. I might message her now with the Zoom link. I was saying this last night. I was like, how good would it be if we just get like Mon on to just jump in for a bit and she can run some questions as well.
The fact that you call him Mon is a bit much, but hi Mum, are you proud of me?
Well, I can't call her mum. She's not my mum.
Let's cut the mum talk. Let's go into the 1 minute brief, Jules.
We're hitting the 1 minute brief. All right. Darren, welcome to the show. As you know, we like to go through our guests and give them a bit of find out a bit about them.
Go on with it.
No, oh my God. Fuck, it's worse than talking to your brother sometimes. This is fucking terrible. All right. Nickname.
Darren. Nah. Well, we upgraded from
Twin. Oh, go on, come on.
It's like we're not going to get through any part of this interview or discussion.
No. So my nickname, No, I don't know, just Daz or Dazzler. That's what they call me at work.
Dazzler. Yeah, nice.
But they
at work.
For some reason, I'm
Sorry.
still going.
Yeah, it's 1 minute brief, mate. You didn't come here to fuck spiders.
No, I was
Job title.
Great save.
I was just gonna. I was just gonna say they call me Dollar Dazzler, which sounds pretty cool.
Fucking hell.
Dollar Dazzler.
Rapper in the building.
And then,
Bust 'em
yeah,
up.
and then I think it's because everything I do is money. No, it's not actually the real reason, but
Jesus.
it could be.
That's a real like Nick Bollock
Nick
type
Bollock
statement
territory.
there, Mark.
I thought of that. Anyway, go on, 1 minute brief. That's all we got.
Yeah, job title. What is your job title?
Digital content producer.
At?
Oh, the NBL, yeah. National
nice.
Basketball League.
Pete would have
Thank
covered
you.
that, though.
Oh, yeah, true.
It's all right. What's your favourite bit of content that you've worked on?
Oh, well, every time I think of this, it's just can't go past like the LaMelo era in NBL, so it's just cool to see. Well, you can see.
As he sits with the LaMelo piece of art in the background.
Yeah, no, it was just cool to see my work sort of fly around the social universe.
Bleacher
Especially
reports and
internationally.
everything.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so I was there. That was good.
And your best non-work skill?
Look, I was thinking about this, and literally everything I do relates to work, like in a good way, like basketball, design, video. So it's hard to escape that. So unless Michael, you can think of anything that doesn't.
Well, I was hoping for a better. That's a bit of a shit answer from you, Darren. I was hoping a bit better. From you.
I was thinking about it.
Well, I think you got to be certain with one. Like, go yes, basketball. You don't really have many other skills, do you?
But that's what I mean. It's very difficult.
Let's change it. So instead of your best non-work skill, who would win one-on-one in a game of basketball between you two?
Jeez, this is personal.
It's pretty even.
Well, we could probably just I don't actually know. Yeah, we're dead on. Exactly the same skill-wise.
Jules,
Very diplomatic answer.
I'll say, just to break it up, because we don't want to both be sitting on the fence, Darren is better at attacking the basket, but he can't shoot. I can shoot, not as good as attacking the basket, if that helps you.
That's no surprise. There's no surprise you wouldn't put your head over the ball and actually go down the gut. So
I try.
Darren, I see you as a more valuable player. Anyway,
thank you.
that was the 1 minute brief that went for about 30 minutes. Let's get into some questions. What do you reckon, Barks?
Yeah, let's do it. Straight into it.
Am I
Okay.
Barks? Is that me?
No, you're Dazzler.
hell.
You, you know your own nickname. We just asked you.
Dollar.
Dollar Dazzler. All right, so before the NBL, before you got there, I guess you two ran a YouTube page called Brotherhood Studios. What was it about it? What can you tell us about that? Why did it all start? How did it come apart? And Barks, I guess that's a question for you as well. I feel like I'm running a like This Is Your Life for both of you. But tell us about Brotherhood Studios, how it all started and what it kind of goal was.
Well, you nearly stuffed me up by the way you pronounced it Brotherhood then. But Brotherhood, no. No, it was just literally what it sounds like, just like a way for us to continually make basketball videos and attempt to get our name out there, which didn't really work, but it kind of got to us where we are today, so called a success.
So
perhaps.
So Darren always, it sort of irritates me because he says it wasn't a success, but without it got us to these positions that we're lucky enough to be at. So it was essentially just like when we always edited NBA basketball videos on the side, and then I don't know how old we were, but we both sort of thought, let's see how seriously we can take this. And we created that YouTube channel, Brotherhood Studios. And that, let's be honest, that's what we pitched to, that's what we showed as a resume to the NBL, essentially. And that's when we both freelanced for them for probably a bit over a year. So probably balance that between our full-time work. And use that as a resume and got to where I was. It was fun, though. I always look back in our videos now. It was fun. Like, we wouldn't have the time.
Yeah.
All the patience for it now, but it was good for when it was.
Even though we didn't get many viewers in total, the ones that did see it was important. Like Michael said, is essentially what got me and us the gig at the NBL to begin with. So it was successful, I guess.
So how did it start though? How early on did you two both start just cutting up NBA videos? When were you just sitting around at home and being like, hey, we can do this, why don't we give it a crack? It's not something that people just jump into.
I feel like that was literally it. There was so many people doing it, and we were just like, oh, might as well give it a go. And I think, to Michael's credit, I think we had our own individual channels first, where we kind of just mucked around and did less. I don't know. We didn't spend as much time on it, but then Michael's like, how about we just combine like into one channel and just kind of make more videos?
Brand.
So
Yeah.
a brand out of it all.
Anyway, so you've landed at the NBL.
What a whack.
How long have you been there now? 2 years?
I think this is my third season. So yeah, 2.5 or 3-ish.
Yeah. Would you agree that still in the Australian landscape that the NBL sort of doesn't get the credit it deserves in terms of being, I don't know, taken as seriously as it should be? Like, do you think there's still the majority of the people that when you talk about the NBL, it probably doesn't get looked at as a good a league as it is, as a good as a league as it is?
Oh no.
No, I guess I feel like as we've gotten, I was going to say older, but no, as the league has grown, people have started to finally, like, you hear some positive things about it these days, which is good, but at the same time, I feel like when I meet people and try to, I don't know, explain where I work from, people still don't actually know what the NBL is sometimes.
They don't know
kind of
what
awkward.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, you're like, the NBL, they give you a blank expression, you're like, Australian basketball, they're like, oh, that's cool. But then they kind
That's
of
really
think
strange.
it's a bit weird, but
It's
is what it is. But I feel like it's getting more respect, and like I said, you do actually hear people say that it's a lot better now. So
is it one of those? Sorry, is it one of those things that you can probably speak for yourself and not your team, but does it bother you, or do you think it's more just making the content and focusing on the people that do appreciate it for what it is, rather than focusing on the people that don't?
No, I don't know. You're always going to get negative people, like you guys know. Especially on social media, there's always those people that just reply for the sake of replying, and yeah, I don't know. You just kind of ignore it. But it is good to have those. Like, we kind of all know the fanatics around there, and like that have an online presence, and it is good how passionate they are about it. And yeah, I don't know. It is good to see those people.
Yeah, nice. I guess kind of shifting away from that a little bit. I mean, there's obviously some tension between you two, but on the other side,
the job tension.
The job tension. On the other side, like working in sports it can sometimes be a pretty like it's a full on job because it doesn't stop, right? And you said that yourself, like you think everything that you do relates to your job. But what's it like on the flip side, being able to have someone so close to you that really understands the industry and that you can kind of like bounce ideas off and like work on stuff together? Do you two get together often and like talk about work and how you can make each other better and push things to the next level?
It is probably like a very underrated thing that we have, because we don't really, it's probably just normal for us by now. Like, we're like, oh yeah, my identical twin does the exact same job essentially, but it's very good to bounce ideas off each other, and just like, even though it's not exactly the same, there's still so many things that relate. Like, and we probably do it without even noticing. Like, our text during the day, like a lot of it is to do with like what's going on at work. So it's very handy.
Yeah.
I think you struggle to find good 2 or 3 days, maybe 2 days in a row that we wouldn't probably, without realizing, as you said, Darren, of like throwing an idea past each other or just being honest with if something looks crap. I think that's one thing I appreciate about it.
That's true.
Is there that brutal honesty between you two? Like, if Bucks does something bad, do you go straight away, jump on and be like, that was the fucking shittest thing I've ever seen in my life?
So, it's not like brutal like that. It's more like constructive, like, not sure how I'm feeling about that. And then they're like, oh yeah, you're right.
No, we're pretty blunt, Darren. I don't think we will. You're not a job interview.
I am. This feels like a job interview. It's very tense.
I think we're pretty blunt, but we know how each other are, so it's not like you take offense. Like, oh, okay, maybe that doesn't look the best.
Oh, that's true. Yeah. No, it is good though. Like, just because it's funny whenever I explain to someone what I do, and then the conversation goes on, and it's like, you have an identical twin brother. Then it's like, what does he do? It's just like sport content.
Yeah. It does.
It's funny. But
it doesn't really help with our lifelong ambition of trying to differentiate us as separate people, does it?
we just can't help it. We're the same person.
Well, I know one way you two both differentiate yourself. Darren, you clearly don't cut your own hair in the window of a car, whereas Michael
Which
perhaps does.
Incredibly logical, and the poll showed that, so you can drop that.
Bullshit, really. No.
I
won't.
No.
All right, something else with the NBL that I appreciate, and I think you've helped with, but I think it's probably you can probably attest to this, whether it was implemented before you started, but your guys' identity, whether it be Twitter, online, but I think that's something they do very well, and you'd struggle to find, for example, a tweet without a pun, clever wording, probably a bit of sarcasm. Is that something that you think is very important in terms of big accounts having an identity?
I think it's important. Just going back to the first thing, that wasn't really like, it was more when I came, Mike Corbett and Guy Neville sort of had their own, like they developed that identity, I guess. Yeah. Especially Mike, like he's just very witty with what he comes up with, and some of it is like, it goes way over my head, but I still know it's like clever in the moment. But I think it's important to have some sort of identity, whether that's like the memey thing, like the Sacramento Kings and stuff like that, or the more simplistic, like simple approach. Just like, but I think either way, I think it's good to sort of have an identity, whichever way you want to go with it. But what is Carlton's identity? You have to answer me that. How do you describe your identity online?
Well, I think that's thrown to Jules.
Yeah. I think it's definitely changed from the time that I've got there. I think it was quite conservative to start with, and we're still probably more conservative than some other teams. Like I look at St Kilda and I put them as like probably the benchmark of nailing that like sarcastic, fun, but also serious kind of tone that a lot of clubs want to go to. I think we're slightly behind there, but we're pushing. I think our first goal, to cut back to that, was shift away from that conservative. Really, like this is news, this is it. Like there's going to be very little engagement, and we're shifting to a more engaging kind of open, taking advantage of how people talk online and using that a lot more in our speech to make it more relatable. I think that's our first goal before we do anything else and try and do anything too crazy. The other hard thing is like the thing that plays into it a lot is that Carlton hasn't had a lot of success on the field, which makes it hard to be like that really jovial kind of sarcastic tone of voice. You kind of got to balance that off with the fact that, well, we don't win a lot of games. And you notice in pre-season it shifts to a bit more fun and you can have a bit more fun. And then as the season progresses, you kind of got to ride the wave a little bit. That probably didn't really answer anything, but I feel like I talked around it for 2 minutes. So
now, Jules, what's Carlson's identity online? No, I'm kidding. I get what you're saying.
I was gonna say, Jules, I think you answered it well. So back yourself in, but I think it's probably a bit of a difference of a team account versus a league account. I reckon you guys, Darren, have a bit more freedom to poke around the sensitive issues that might be not bagging a player, but if you're from the team's perspective, it's probably like, do we want to offend them? Is it the right thing to do? Where the league can probably, you correct me if I'm wrong, but can probably go a bit further in funny content in terms of sarcasm and whatever it might be, trends and that sort of thing. Would you agree?
Yeah. No, I reckon you're spot on, because it's not as like, you don't have to back one side. Like you can't just like, if something's funny, you can't just present that it's funny. You don't have to do it from an angle that someone's in the wrong or someone's stuffed up or something. So that's probably a good point.
Thank you.
I kind of building on that. I noticed that you guys have a few different like accounts. Like you do your actual basketball show. I don't know what the name of it is. I'm sorry. It's like a panel show.
Do your research. No, NBL Overtime.
ESPN,
yeah, and then, thank you. Yeah.
And then you've got your, like, obviously your main account for the NBL. And then you're also started doing some behind the scenes photography kind of stuff, if I'm not wrong. Have you kind of identified that that's what people are interested in, or is it something that you're just kind of still trying out to work out whether there's a market for it here?
I feel like it's just those ones like NBL Raw and NBL Feed Heat. They're kind of just like, we're like, our little group of the digital team are so passionate about that kind of stuff that it's honestly like enjoyable for us to do that kind of content. And it's not like complex content. Like the NBL Raw is like I'll see a good photo and pump it out there, and then I just enjoy it. And even I think Michael's commented how like you would miss it if you didn't put them out there like that. So I think it stems from our passion for it. Not really anything else. It's like it's good to see if it works and whatnot, but half of this job is just like enjoyable. So we just kind of do it because we're into it.
And seeing if it works. I think that's always a thing. You've got to have the mindset of we don't care if this stuff's up. Now, obviously that doesn't work with everything, but with those Instagram pages, if it doesn't work, then scrap it. It doesn't matter, but it could open a whole nother layer to insight.
You gotta try these things as well. Like I don't know, I guess engagement sometimes it's not the be all and end all. Like it's so hard with comparing because we're also like heavily involved in the American side of things. Like it's hard not to look at they tweet anything and it just goes crazy. And then we tweet something and you get, I don't know, 12 likes. You're like, all right, let's go. But I don't know. You can't.
Was this worth the 3 hours that I stressed over tweeting, working out the words for this?
Exactly. But I don't know. It's just the landscape. Like you can't. We're not in the same boat. You can't really do it like that. But as long as I feel like we get enjoyment from it, so that's all that matters, guys.
That's true. And to both of your points, like if there's no real pressure, if you're not sitting there going, oh fuck, I have to post something today, that changes it as well. Like if you're just doing it as it pops up, I think that's a definite like tick on like if it makes it way more enjoyable. But I feel like sometimes Barks and I have talked about this, and I know Barks is like keen on having like an NBA Raw style thing for Carlton. But my thing is that at the moment we're still not nailing our own Instagram strategy. So like that should be the forefront. Like those pictures should be on our main account before that we're like subdividing our audience again and kind of like going, oh, here's another account to follow. That might be posting, but you never know. Like it might post, it might not post. Like, and until we get to that stage, I think like that's my reasoning behind it. But it sounds like you guys are just enjoying it and you can have some fun with it. So it's a big difference point.
I feel like, like you said, the difference, like it's team versus league. Like I feel like there's so many, like the NBL role was like, I wanted to kind of, in my, like back of my mind, I kind of wanted to drive the clubs to do more content like that. Like if we post some of their content, they might think, oh, like it might give them another reason to, I don't know, take more photos of their own and film more video of their own. Because I feel like that sort of content is something like the NBA do so well. Like we all love the vision that comes from the actual filming in games on your own cameras. So if we can drive that a bit more, I think that's kind of like the next level, I guess, for us.
To clarify, listeners, NBL Raw, look it up, nbl.raw at Instagram. That is a page purely just for very good and slick photos, like nothing else. There's no, obviously your main account is for news, photos. Everything else, whatever else you got to post, but go to it, very slick grid, very similar to what the Clippers do. My lot, they've got a clippers.jpg, and Lakers as well, don't they, Jules?
Lakers have one as well, and the Bulls do a really good like history version of all that. There's a couple of good like side accounts that a lot of clubs have.
The Bulls,
and again,
the Bulls is very good.
Yeah, Bulls are actually like very good on social for not having a very good team.
Yeah, well, it's a bit of a theme, isn't it? Renegades.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
It is.
I think you're gonna relate to Carlton, but they're.
Oh wow! Wow.
Hang on, guys. Take the positives here. I said a very good social, but not a great like the coming year. The previous year is not a great team. Yeah, so it's all right.
Fucking hell! Remember last
good save.
Season 1, Britt Denton goes whack, and Darren comes back in and gives us another whack.
We should get a player on here to actually cop this feedback. So, Darren, you're going to stick around for the rest of this show because apparently Barks doesn't want to just chat to me. I was joking while we were taking a quick break that I think that you two might just want to take over this podcast, but you're going to have to buy me out if that's the case. It's not going to become the Brotherhood Studios podcast as well. But we put it out to our fans, hundreds of thousands of fans, to ask some questions of the great Darren James Barker. Are you ready?
James. Yes, I am. I am ready.
Our phones blew up.
You have 160 followers, don't you?
Wow. A real I think it's.
All right, Mr. Underappreciated NBL boy. You should be backing our following.
No, who said that's a good start?
Start. We're in season 30.
Fucking 80 episode season this year. What's your favourite thing about our podcast and it can't be Pete?
Well, I already said, like, when I spoke to Pete earlier, that was my answer.
Oh.
But I can switch it up for this question. No, I just
here.
maybe you're, huh?
I'm right here.
No, I was gonna go deep in your friendship with one another is well, because to be honest, I don't think Michael mentioned your name at all before the podcast.
Yes, I did.
You know,
I lived with him for six weeks. I think I would have mentioned who the hell I was hanging out with.
Yeah, but that was no. But it is good that you guys just, you know, came together and do this. And like we said, even if your following isn't tremendous to begin with, but you honestly have some very close followers, like my lovely girlfriend Jess, who I thought I'd shout out because she didn't want me to, but she follows every week. Mum follows every week. Dad follows. Okay, it's just our family.
Hi, Jess.
Well, that's kind of nice because like no one in my family listens to the podcast, so it's fine. Yeah. Well, I don't think my parents understand how to use a podcast like app, so I wouldn't stress about it.
They just need to type into YouTube or like Spotify. Oh, Duncan, shout out to you, Duncan. Listen to this. And
I don't think my dad has Spotify.
Well, I'm trying to compliment your dad here.
No, my dad's a dickhead. Let's not go down that path.
That's rude. But my answer is just the fact that you're doing it is the answer.
Nice.
Great job, guys.
That's a very good one.
Thank you.
Keep it up.
We've probably touched on this about a little bit, but what is your favourite part of your job?
Oh, that's a good question.
So this came anonymously, but it could be like, do you prefer video over graphics? Do you prefer graphics over whatever? Or it might be something completely different. It might be that you're up close to LaMelo Ball.
Yeah, I did meet LaMelo. Just hi LaMelo, if you're listening to this. Good luck to your. I think you're playing in half an hour, so you know, just keep your head up, be confident, okay, no. No, I was gonna say the variety of stuff I get to do is definitely one. But if I enjoy design or video more, that is, I have my depends on the day, I guess.
Yeah. Can I cut in here, Jules? When you say you do everything, that was a question I was going to have for you, but I didn't want to blow up your head too much. So when your role is very unique, when you think about what you do graphic design, video editing, social media, and you film games. Do you ever have weeks where you think, fuck, I'm good? What would they do without me?
Jesus.
Weeks. Hours. No, not really. No, it does feel good to be able to do, what's the term? Wear multiple hats. I think you guys have said that multiple times, but no, it does feel good to be able to do.
So you have thought that?
Best at all. No, not in those words, but yeah, it feels good. There's nothing wrong with valuing yourself.
No, absolutely.
No, it does feel good, but yeah, I'm not the best at them, but I can do them, so that's a plus.
Good answer.
No, don't sell yourself short. You're pretty good at everything. It's quite annoing.
Hang on. And my answer to that is I'm not the best at it, but I know nobody's gonna work harder than me. Shout out Nick, whatever your name is.
Nick Bollock.
Big money.
That's it.
There is. That's a second. That's the second Nick reference in this episode.
Hope he's listening.
Big money and dollar.
Dollar Dazzler. I'm gonna skip the hardest part of your job because I don't think
sorry.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Another point to add to that question, but the team is very important who you work with, and my small group of people is very. No, it's just like it more feels like a bunch of like friends than anything. So that's a lovely comment from myself, but. Yes, the team is very important, so that's definitely a favorite part of the job as well.
I've worked a bit with your team in the past, and I appreciate them also. Shouts, Guy Mike. That's it.
Guy Mike, Steady. Don't forget Steady.
I don't think I probably didn't work much with Steady, but shouts to your team, yes.
Yes, that's enough about me. Although the podcast is about me, so we can keep going.
If you're gonna scrap the hardest part about your job, Darren, Jules, I'm gonna answer on behalf of me and Darren, if that's okay. Can I?
Way to make it about yourself, but yeah, go.
Finding bloody music is the hardest part of this job. Many tears have been drawn over finding music, and that's Darren's answer too. So next one.
Is that a direct dig at me because I always say, as soon as Buck sends me a clip, I'm like, where's the fucking music? And he's like, why does it need music?
Hang on.
Like, because it feels empty without it.
It doesn't happen that often.
Wait, you send clips without music?
I think that's literally happened one time, and Jules has put an always in front of it.
You should take the old video producer had this tactic, Damon, where he'd just he'd start searching in Audio Network or whatever it is, whatever the person in the video looked like. So if it was Cripper, he'd search like tough, and that's it. And I think one day there was like a bald guy that he was doing some music for. He just literally searched bald and used like one of the first clips, audio clips that came up, and it worked.
Oh,
so,
God.
yeah, it worked. Maybe you need to take that approach.
Maybe.
Not bad.
Hey, so Dollar Dazzler, this next question comes from Big Baller _69. Who is your favorite member of the Ball family?
Oh, don't. Well, they're probably all watching. How am I meant to answer that?
Probably came from one of them.
Burner account.
No, well, it's always been Lonzo, so Lonzo Ball, if you watch, no. But LaMelo has a special place in my heart because, NBL ties and got to meet the guy. Didn't say a word to him, but that's okay.
Oh,
He talks
why
way
did
too
you say
deeply
something?
about the ball.
You had one chance there, one opportunity.
Sounds like you're going to a
Well,
rap.
yeah, true.
I was about to. I didn't know whether you two would know it. But anyway, thanks for answering our fans' questions there.
Thanks,
That's
listeners.
right, big baller.
That's a big one. Hey, since you're sticking around, Dollar Daz, what do you reckon we crack some eggs?
Oh, what a privilege it is for Darren to be included into this.
I know, right?
Do we want?
Let's take it away, Pete. Is that what you do?
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we've already cut to Pete by this stage, but thanks for that. Anyway, do you want to kick us off?
I would absolutely love to. Well, I didn't think of anything. Michael asked me to, and I didn't come up with anything. So
That's fine.
I'm the egg of the week.
Nice.
Okay.
Coming up with anything.
That's good preparation.
Although, when I was thinking about this, all I thought about was they're eggs every single week. But just those, we covered it earlier, but just those people that, just the people that comment all the negative stuff on social media, they're all eggs every single week, every day.
Yeah, you could go on about them you could name the segment after them, to be honest, but agreed. Yeah. I've got a quick one, Jules. Do you have one?
Okay. Yeah, I've got one. But you go.
Sounds like you got 5 lined up again. So I didn't have one.
I do.
I didn't have one, but it came to me this morning. I'm egging the flame emoji. Be original.
Why?
Every bloody team and every person, man, woman, and their dogs use the fucking. Hang on, I'm not done. Fucking flame emoji.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
They're like, the one where they Ben Simmons uses it all the time. It's that one where they like snort out the steam.
Get original, people. I'm sick of seeing just because you don't know what else to comment on a post like 6 of flame emojis. I get it means good. The only reason I accept it is if it's used in sarcasm. You're an egg flame emoji.
That's creative.
Big egg today.
Big egg, the flame emoji.
Creative,
I've got 2. I want to take this in a different direction, but first I've got to egg myself because it was brought to my attention by my friend Amanda. So Barks, when we were talking about that LA Dodgers video the other day,
yes.
Enrique Hernandez, I believe it was.
Yep.
It was brought to my attention that I said that I had no idea who Enrique Hernandez was, but in fact, my friend Amanda had sent me some content about Enrique Hernandez actually going to the Boston Red Sox probably a week earlier, and I just didn't jerry. So I'm gonna egg myself there about not knowing what I was actually doing.
That's funny.
But I want to take this in the reverse and not egg someone, but I want to call it the boss of the week. And this one's going out to Serena Williams, and I'll share the clip through social. But there's a little clip that's popped up online where Serena Williams, who is obviously the GOAT of female tennis and probably like male tennis as well, the amount of titles that she's won, let's just say tennis in general. And she's going on a tour through her trophy room, and she's won that many trophies that she doesn't actually know what's in there. And she's like, I think I've got an Australian Open one in here. Oh, look, there's the US Open. I don't know what this one's for. So that's my like humble, not humble, that's a boss of the week. That's
I like boss of the week.
Subtle bragging.
There was a line in there that she said she's terrible with trophies, and then I saw this tweet, and it's like, at this point I lost it like all inches, because it's like, how many trophies do you have to say I'm terrible with trophies?
It's an incredible video. We'll share the video in the comments below, but give it a watch if you haven't.
I actually haven't. I kept seeing it pop up and people saying good words about it, but I didn't actually click into it. So
I'll do that.
It goes for about a minute, but it's pretty good.
I'm gonna expand on that new segment, Boss of the Week. This one, will also submitted by Elise. Cricket. I'm not gonna name who it was from because I don't know cricket, but apparently some dude was batting, got a cramp, and the opponent held his leg up for him to stretch the cramp out.
Oh yeah, stretch it out.
That's a pretty boss move.
They do that quite regularly, I think, because they're all friends.
Oh.
Yeah.
So this is why it's not a sport. Who are all friends? Like, you're gonna go stretch James Harden's calf out for him if you're a Lakers player? No.
I'm pretty sure they say this era of NBA they're too friendly. So I'm not sure you have a point here.
No. Why do we invite Darren on the show?
Thank you.
All right, that does egg of the week. Both of you nominated yourself. So we'll go into one that we got a nice Instagram message through the week, and Darren, you don't know any bit about this. It's nothing to do with you, but please add to it if you've got anything to add to. Otherwise, sit down and shut up and listen. All right?
Oh.
So, sorry. Jack Lloyd, we got an Instagram message from Jack Lloyd, and Jack Lloyd responded, had some nice words about the podcast, which is nice. But he asked if we have any tips for aspiring sports content creators to get a start in the industry. Now, it's probably a common question that gets asked, and we don't talk too seriously about it. But I made a few notes I'm willing to kick off, Jules. Did you have a bit of a think about it, though?
Yeah, I did. But I'm happy for you to kick off.
No, just quick hitters for me. I think my tips, I guess, if you want to get tip start. That's cool. I think, one, create example to show what you're made of. So for me, it was relating to my background of YouTube. Make examples of videos, even if it's just for yourself, but something to show, whether that's articles, videos, whatever it might be. Another quick one that I found handy, reach out to individuals, not teams. Don't be afraid to start from the bottom and offer up your time for free. Can't speak in this segment. But while saying that, still value your skills and don't let yourself get used for free too much. And then lastly, ask the simple questions. Be curious. I feel like yes, Darren, what's
funny? Ask the simple questions. But I get what you're saying, but you literally just said one after the other. Start from the bottom, don't ask for money. Value your time, ask for money.
No, I said yes. My notes say, but while saying that. So
don't get taken advantage of. I think that's the key.
So still value your skills.
Yeah. There's a lot of debate around this at the moment because a lot of football clubs obviously offer internships in media spaces, and everyone's saying, they should be paid and whatnot. But I'm of the opinion I would do volunteer work just to get my foot in the door if that was the case, and understand that it's not going to be forever. You do have to reach a point where you're like, hey, I've worked 8 hours every week for the last year. Are you going to throw me anything here? A little bit or something would be nice.
I think that's what I was trying to say, but sometimes words don't happen for me occurringly today more.
That's all right.
I do get what you meant. I do. It's more like a step-by-step thing. You have to start somewhere, but get to a point where you do value it enough. I get you.
Go on, Jules.
I think building on that, I think what you two did with Brotherhood Studios was probably a great example of how you can get started creating your own work in the industry and actually having a physical record and showing your progress from here to here. And I think publishing to social media gives you that accountability of, if it's there, people are going to react to it, and you're going to cop creative criticism as well, and that learning how to deal with that is a big part of it. So actually publishing your work, I'd say that's a big start. And the second thing I always did was and it's going to show how fucking old I am, but I used to print out examples of stuff that I liked, and I saw like graphics. I know it's hard, but like even having the printout of a video would actually help me like trigger a memory. And I used to put that all within like a little display book and just keep it as a reference. So if I ever felt like I was feeling creatively challenged, I could be like, all right, let's flick through and have an example of what. And I even wrote little notes and stuff like that. And that's not going to help you get a job, but it's going to help you build your own creative knowledge about what other people are doing. Everyone saves examples and stuff, and it's quite daunting sometimes if you're actually physically scrolling back and trying to find something. But if you have it physically there, you can always look it up or whatnot. I know it's a bit old school, but I kind of like doing it that way. But yeah, Jack, I think that's a couple of ways that you can get started. From networking, you're doing the right things, message people, get them talking, get your name out there. That's the biggest thing as well that you can do.
I think just literally just doing it is just a big part. Like if you, maybe too often you're waiting for like, I don't know, someone to offer you a role, offer you an actual job to do it. But if you just do it from scratch, and like you said, social media is such a huge part of it. Like if you just put stuff out there, even if you don't get that much love, but all it takes is like the right person to see it. So I think it's just literally just do it, and I don't know, if you've got it there, people will see it eventually.
And don't get caught up on one person or one team. I think something we've probably all struggled with. If you see an opportunity that you absolutely love and you feel like you should just constantly hound as many people you can from that club, don't, as hard as it is, don't do that. Like just move on to the next one. But thanks for the inbox, Jack. If that doesn't answer your question, just tell us and we'll do more. No, I hope it does answer your question, and thanks for the message.
Oh, also just another comment. I reckon just like do more than you have to. Like I was talking to this person over Instagram the other day who, like, he has a gig as a photographer, but he wants to I think he wanted to expand more to do more digital sort of stuff, like design and help with social media. And then I think he put stuff on his own like grid, and it's like, it's pretty quality stuff. So it's more just like, even if that's not part of your role, just do it anyway to showcase you can do it.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a big part. Just go like, I don't know, it sounds cliche, but above and beyond, and people will see what you can actually do, that you're not like limited to one thing.
One skill. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, nice. There's some good tips for anyone, not just you, Jack. I mean, it'd be selfish if you just took that and didn't share it with anyone. Selfish prick.
Jesus.
Just whack Jack.
Whack
hey,
Jack.
I've got a bit of content, but I don't know if we want to have a look at it or not. What are we feeling? It's just we don't have to spend too much time on it. Obviously, Super Bowl this week. How good is that? Oh, Bucks, you're gonna have to bring it up. You've disabled screen sharing. But anyway, Super Bowl coming up this week, and I always get extremely jealous of the access that I think you have it as well, Daz. Like your access that you have on court, on field. Not to the Super Bowl. Let me finish my bloody thought, would you?
Mate.
The access you have to get vision on court is outstanding and something we don't have in the AFL. And I always get really jealous watching that. And then also when I watch the NFL and I see them with their like nice mirrorless shots that they get following a touchdown, and like how they can shoot on the sidelines and post that on their social. But this is from a content creator, and it's got a couple of good points that I want to bring up.
Yeah,
there we go.
We need sound?
No, don't really need sound. You can just watch it. So this is from Brendan Minton. I've probably butchered his name. But yeah, just give it a watch.
They're strangely close for COVID.
This was last year. Last year. Yeah.
Feb 5. It wouldn't be yesterday.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. So it's nothing like crazy. The content is great. Like his edits are really nice. But 2 points. Like, look at the emotion that he was able to capture from being on the field. And I think that's something that the AFL really needs to get better at, and something that Darren, you get to show in what you do. And I think it's really quite important to celebrate in a different way. But this also comes back to Jack Lloyd's question of like, how do you get a leg up? The hashtag here is post your work. That's what you got to do. Like, I think it's so important for us as content creators to kind of remove ourselves, and we've spoken about this, but like remove the ego and the tall poppy syndrome that comes across in Australia, and actually just go ahead and share the work that you do and be really proud of it. Because it's an insight that not many people have. I don't know if you have any thoughts on it.
Sorry to cut you off. That's what I always think. Like, it's just, we're lucky enough to be in this position. Why wouldn't you want to showcase what you have access to? And not to mention it, like, it helps grow, like, the sport, the brand, the everything. Like, it gets people talking, it gets it more seen. Like, I don't know why you wouldn't post kind of everything you do that you're proud of. Like, I don't know. It just doesn't really make sense to me.
It just always goes back to the tall poppy Australia. Like, you're a wanker if you post yourself. No,
it's not like you're posting selfies. It's
I
not
know.
like you're posting stuff of you. Yeah,
but it's more accepted and appreciated overseas. I think it also helps the individuals. So like people might give feedback for Brandon for this case, and also help other people in his position. Good little find. Yeah,
I just thought, like, as well, I'm a big NFL fan, so I really enjoyed his edits were just so nice, like where he does that weird like parallax thing with the photo and like deepens the background.
I was gonna say there's some little slick things in there that if you only really pick up on the second time. Like the moving photos almost.
But again, for anyone listening at home, sorry, Darren, let me get this out, and then you can have your little bit.
Give the host a bit of time, Darren.
For anyone listening at home, we'll have the clip that we're talking about in the comments, so you can have a look at. Okay, Darren,
go on,
yes.
Darren.
No, I was just going to say it is quite like baffling why the footy world doesn't allow that kind of stuff. Like, to me, that's almost one of the best parts about digital content. Like, if you can showcase what it's actually like to be there, or just, I don't know, just grab angles that nobody would really see. It's quite mind blowing.
Well, I mean,
my mind is blown.
Yeah, the in-game stuff is always my annoyance. Anyway, let's keep it positive.
Anyway, I think that's about it. I reckon we've spoken for about an hour and a half now. This is probably going to be the longest podcast today.
You got any questions for us,
wrap us up?
No, just actually,
I don't.
You're running us.
You don't want that? Okay.
You're wrapping us up, Jules. If you read the fucking spreadsheet.
Fuck, am I doing everything on this?
I introed.
I'll wrap us up.
Yeah, why don't you wrap us up?
No, well, as we'll be on our socials, content catch up. It's been a pleasure for Darren to come on and share his opinion for his fantastic job at the NBL.
If you're gonna wrap us up, you might as well actually speak from your perspective and wrap us up, Jules.
All right, you clowns. Daz, Darren, thanks for joining us for the entirety of the show. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I know for someone that I haven't met before, it feels like I know a lot about you. So it's finally great to have a chat and get a bit of an insight as to how stuff works in the NBL. You're doing a great job. Keep it up. For everyone else listening, Content Catch Up on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube will have full clips and a few little highlights throughout the week. So make sure you follow along and get your suggestions in for next guest. We're taking suggestions. If you know anyone that you want to hear more from, drop us a comment. Thank you to everyone that's done that in the past. It's always very helpful. And the other thing we're going to be doing, Barks, is we're going to be creating a list of content creators. So if you know anyone that should be included on that list, again, tag them and we'll create a list. Yes, of course you, Darren. It's all right.
No. Thank you for having me on. I genuinely do enjoy listening to you guys every week. And it is good. It is good what you're doing. So thanks for having me on.
Thanks, Darren. Nice to get to know you a bit more. And thanks, everyone.